Hey guys, M.V.K here. How's everybody doing? It is good to be back. We are here to deliver. I'm here. I should say I am here to deliver your answers to the latest themed Q&A that I bestowed upon the Patreons. As always, all the themed Q&As are on the Patreon now, and this time around we are delivering with the first family of comics, Fantastic Four. I was excited to do Fantastic Four. I was like, and when I was putting the list together for every month, I was like, I'm gonna put Fantastic Four for the month of May. So I got a decent amount of questions from you guys, and even from a couple of newer Patreon members that I haven't seen before, but I've gotten a couple of them. So I appreciate that for new people coming in and joining the Patreon, no matter what it is, whether you're just a free member or not. That's cool. But yeah, I got a lot of questions. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people, and you times that by 4 questions a pop. Yeah, it's a pretty good amount. So we're gonna start back all the way from the beginning on who delivered their first question, and that is, we are going ladies first. Actually, ladies first. Eliza Hughes. She asks me. Okay. First question. So here's the first one. First thing is, the Fantastic Four will be crossing over with the Gargoyles. That is true. What other fictional universe would you cross them over with? The other universe I would cross over the Fantastic Four with, if we're talking DC, I would love to see the Fantastic Four mix it up with the challenges of the unknown. That would be interesting. I would love the Fantastic Four to meet Space Ghosts, the Herculoids. That's another good one. I'll stick another one with DC. The Fantastic Four meeting the New Gods would be great. I would love that. So there's a lot of, and I'll do one more. Let's do the Fantastic Four meeting somebody from Valiant. Harbinger, so something like that. Yeah, there we go. Next up, a newer member, Adam Strange. I see what you did. Okay, Adam Strange. Okay. Adam Strange. What was the first Fantastic Four comic you read? The first Fantastic Four comic I read. That is an actual good question. I believe it wasn't the debut of Black Panther. It wasn't. I didn't read that until I was 14 when I got to read that. The first Fantastic Four comic I read, I believe, was Fantastic Four 349 or 350. I could be. It was an anniversary special. I knew who they were, but I didn't read their comics. So it took me a while to read, because everything was Spider-Man with me. Spider-Man was the main Marvel. Spider-Man, X-Men. Those were the guys and it was between Spider-Man that I was introduced. Sometimes other characters would guest star. So it was mainly Spider-Man, X-Men, Daredevil. That was what I was always reading when I started reading comics. So I believe, the first Fantastic Four comic that I read was issue 300. It was in the 300s. It's like 349 or 350. I still own it too. Your next question is, who's your favorite of the family members? I'm a Johnny Storm guy. I love Johnny. Even though I don't approve of a lot of things that Johnny does. Like, I'm not that whole. I don't agree with him being a ladies' man, and him and he's done some dumb stuff too. Johnny can be smart, but then Johnny can be really dumb. Like because of him, he slept with y'all remember not too long ago. He slept with Doom's fiance, and Dr. Doom was pissed off about it. He's like, okay, and he basically punished Johnny by not having him turn off his flame. He stayed the Human Torch for a long time. It was scary. It was just scary. It just reminded you just how scary Dr. Doom can be. Like, and he does some stupid stuff too, but he's a loyal brother and brother-in-law and friend, but sometimes Johnny can be so stupid sometimes. As powerful as he is, he can be so stupid. And that's the things I don't like him. But when you need him, yeah, he's there. And I love that about him. But Johnny, sometimes he can be so stupid. Like, what's wrong with you? Why'd you do? And I'm like, Johnny, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? You know, stuff like that. Number 3, what's your favorite Fantastic Four cartoon? Oh, that's easy. The Fantastic Four cartoon from the 90s, from 94, mainly season 2, because season 2 is completely John Byrne's his run. They had the darker blue costume. The artwork was better. You know, they tapped into the Inhumans. We saw a fight between Thing and the Hulk. We saw Daredevil. All that good stuff. That's the run that I love. That's my favorite Fantastic Four cartoon. How do you feel about Ben and Alicia being married? I love it. About time. It's about time that they finally married those two. And you gotta love Alicia Masters, Grimm, I should say now. You know, she's a good example of not judging one because of what they look like. She loves Ben just for who he is. Even she's blind, but she knows what he looks like. She knows he's a rock man, but she loves him, and I love that. I love that. Alicia Masters and Ben Grimm's relationship proves that love conquers all, truly, because she doesn't feel that about that, and I'm hoping where we will see Alicia in the new Fantastic Four movie, and I think that's who Natasha Lyonne is playing. I believe that. Yeah, I think that's who she's playing, Alicia Masters. So yeah, I do. So thank you, Adam Strange, for the questions. I'm not even joking, guys. That's his name. You can't really see it, but yeah, his name is Adam Strange. You know, there's not a lot of people that put their real names on, you know, Patreon. Next up, Cyborg asks his favorite supporting character of Fantastic Four. Probably, like I said, Alicia Masters. Alicia is probably my favorite. I've always loved Alicia. You know, even though her stepfather is the puppet master, but yeah, I love Alicia. Besides Dr. Doom, favorite Fantastic Four villain, Annihilus. I love Annihilus, and I want him so badly in the MCU. I want him looking menacing and scary. Like, I don't want him looking like, he's loving. No, he's gotta be scary. Like, you gotta have this bug man scary. Like, I want him to look creepy. I would put Psycho Man up there next. I like Psycho Man. The Diablo, I like him. Mole Man, but to me, they're lower. But I love over Mole Man. I like the Red Ghost. I love the Red Ghost. You know, the guy, and he's got these super gorillas. Like, I love him, and I think that's who John Malkovich is playing. I could be wrong, but yeah. But yeah, that's my. Besides Dr. Doom, my favorite is Annihilus. Besides Lex Luthor, which DC villains could be a part of the Fantastic Four Rogues Gallery? I can't really see Lex Luthor being a Fantastic Four villain. I morally just see him as being rivals with Reed Richards in general. So yeah. Uh, I could see the like characters from the New Gods. Definitely, like, you know, I could also see Eclipso. I could see Dr. Destiny. You know, characters like that. Which DC character would join the Fantastic Four? I'm not doing that. I don't. There's a couple, but Mr. Terrific's definitely a candidate for sure. I'll just put that one. Thank you. Next question, Quentin Blake. Do you want a Fantastic Four game? There have been Fantastic Four games, but I would want an up-to-date. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. By Insomniac. No, not by Insomniac. No. Who is smarter, Mr. Fantastic or Mr. Terrific? This is a question that I've heard many times by people who ask me. Honestly, Reed isn't the smartest character in Marvel anymore. He lost that title a long time ago. Reed lost that title to Moon Girl. Moon Girl is Lunella Lafayette is the smartest character in Marvel. An 8-year-old girl. She's smarter than Reed Richards. Now you could say, oh, but she's an Inhuman, so that doesn't matter. No, she was smart before she was even diagnosed as a Inhuman. But so Reed, I think he's number 2 now. She's number 1. But in terms of Reed and Michael, I'm gonna give a slight edge to Michael. I think Michael has done a lot more things that Reed has not done. I gotta put that there. I really do. I think, you know, and I'll use this as another example. Reed couldn't solve curing Galactus of his hunger. You know who did that? Black Panther, Blue Marvel, Monica Rambeau, Miss America, America Chavez, and Carol Danvers. When they had a team called the Ultimates. They cured Galactus of him being just the world devourer, and he became the life bringer. Reed never did that. Reed couldn't do that. And it makes me wonder if Mr. Terrific was in the Marvel Universe, I think he would have been able to help do that too. So yeah, I will say, I think slight, maybe a little bit edge of, not by much, but I think he's a little smart. Michael Holt's a little smarter than Reed. Next up, who is more evil, Galactus or Unicron? Well, sorry about that. Who is more evil, Galactus or Unicron? Unicron. Galactus is not evil. Galactus is not evil. He's not evil. He's not evil. He's not evil. Galactus, what he does, there's a reason for why he devours worlds. Unicron is just evil. Unicron is just evil. Galactus is not. That's the whole point. He can't help what he is. Number 4. Could the Fantastic Four beat Omni-Man? Yep. Look, a lot of people need to realize Omni-Man is not that powerful. He's not that strong. he's strong for his world, but he's not that strong. That's why when I hear people say Superman would lose, I laugh at them. Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. You know, they would lose. All Sue has to do, just Sue. All she had to do is put a force field around his brain and be like, "You keep going. I'll shut your brain off." That's it. Sue alone could take him out. Period. But y'all, I just think because of what y'all see on the Invincible show, especially those who never read the books and they see the show and they just instantly, you know, oh my God, Omni-Man can be killed, and he's not that. Put him up against a character at his level from a different universe or stronger, and we're talking about the Fantastic Four. This is a team that's been together for years. They know each other's strengths, weaknesses. So yeah, no. Next up. What was that? Oh, next up. Comic Guy J990 asks, how do you feel about Vanessa Kirby casted as Sue? Chef's kiss. She looks perfect as Sue. She looks perfect. You know, you wanna go on just looks alone, very pretty. But if you're going to go on how I feel about how they're portraying her in those trailers, chef's kiss. Sue is the glue of the four. She's the glue. So, and I'm love they putting that emphasis on her. You know, that's who she is. That's who Sue is. And that's chef's kiss to me. I love that. What's the next question? What's your favorite Fantastic Four comic run? Ooh, that's a tough one. Favorite Fantastic Four comic run. I loved Mark Waid's run. I thought Mark Waid, I love anything Mark Waid writes. Mark Waid, or I call him Mark Magic Waid, because he sprinkles that magic on everything he writes. Jonathan Hickman did a great run. He had a really good run. I said John Burns, also up there. I'm sorry about that noise. So yeah, there's a couple. I haven't started reading Ryan North's run yet because I get those in trade. So what I have read about it, I like it so far. So yeah. Those are definitely up there. Your next question is switch powers. Who would get what? Oh, okay. So if they didn't get their original powers when they got hit with the cosmic rays, okay. All right. Okay. Let's start with Reed. Instead of Reed getting the elastic powers, I would give Reed Thing's abilities. So he would be smart and and powerful at the same time. So he would, guess you would call him Mr. Thing. I don't know, it's a bit funny. Sue would get, I would give Sue Johnny's powers. No. I would give Sue the elastic powers, because it'd be kind of cool to see how Sue would use her the elastic, kind of like Elastigirl, get it. Johnny would get the invisible powers, because right off the bat, I could tell you right now, Johnny got this fool would be doing some ill stuff with that. And Ben would get the fire powers. There you go. Ben would get Johnny's powers. There you go. That's how I would do it. Your fourth question. What's your least favorite favorite Fantastic Four comic run? Dan Slott's. I was not impressed with Dan Slott. I was not. Dan Slott's run was I didn't care for too much of it. Next up, we go to Blue Guardian, and he asks me, do you think we'll see the Council of Reeds in the new movie? The Council of Reeds, basically different Reed Richards from across the multiverse. That would be cool. That would be really interesting to see. Like, you could see Pedro Pascal and Ian Groomfield, who played Reed in the earlier. Because I would love to see him cameo as Reed, and of course John Krasinski. No, we can't put John Krasinski because he died. But maybe a different version of him. But yeah, I'd be cool. I wouldn't mind that. Your next question is best Fantastic Four animated series. Again, I answered this already, guys. I tell you guys all the time to to read other people's questions so you don't repeat a question. Like I said before, the early 90s, that was the best. That was my favorite. Next question. What would Lex Luthor think of Reed Richards? Yeah, he would be jealous. He'd be jealous as fuck. Lex would not handle the fact that Reed is smarter than him. He could not handle that. You think Doom is jealous of that? Lex Luthor would be 10 times jealous of that. You gotta be kidding me. Next up question is number 4. Should Reed and Sue have another child? I wouldn't mind if they had another child, but I'm a little shocked that they did have children that time, because Reed, he's such a man of science. Like he lets Sue, like, yo, I'm like, if I had a wife like Sue and she's like, Reed, you coming to bed, and I'm sorry, dear, I gotta finish this equation, and I'm looking at and she's wearing something to draw me in. Science can wait. Go please your wife. And we see that a lot, and we saw that a lot in the early cartoons. Like, he let science, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like, sometimes I'm like, Reed, go please your wife. Like, so, but I wouldn't mind another. I'd say I want to make Reed have another girl, and maybe that girl is maybe opposite of Reed and Sue, like, in a sense. But yeah, takes more of her uncle's side, Uncle Johnny. So yes, thank you for those questions. Next up, we go to Solomon the Hooded, and he asks me, have you read the Fantastic Four Superman crossover? Yes, I have. I have read that crossover. I have read the Fantastic Four Superman crossover. It's rare now. If you can find that comic, God bless you. I don't even have it. I read it, but I never own it. I don't own it. And I've seen copies of it on eBay, and I've seen guys that want 500, 600. It's rare. It's very rare. But yeah, I would love to own that. The next question is, do you think Johnny will ever get married and have children? Well, he's been married before. He was married to Elijah, the Skrull. They married. Will he ever have kids in the 616 universe? Maybe. I hope so. Someday he will get his act together. But in other universes, Johnny does have kids. There's Johnny Storm Jr. And of which Earth is that? I think that's Earth 998. It's one of them. I can't remember. But the other universe, Johnny does have kids, and he is married. So yeah, somewhere he settles down. But I would love to see Johnny find that right person that he could settle down with in the 616 universe. Indeed. Your next question is, Is Thing really immortal? Technically, yeah, Thing is immortal. He will live a long time. There was a comic that came out not too long ago, and I think it was Reed and his dad, and they traveled to the year 4,000, the year 4,000, I believe, or something like that. And we saw Ben still alive. He had like a long beard, and he was speaking with kids of that time. And then they traveled, I think, another 1,000 years later, and he was still alive. And you could just see it in Ben's face. He was crying, and it was just like he just was talking about Reed and Sue and Johnny and them. I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah, so technically, yeah, Ben is immortal. He can't die. That is true. Thank you for those questions, Solomon the Hooded. Thank you. Next up, Zachary Thompson, excuse me. Zachary asks me, if you could change Reed's power, what would it be? You mean from not having elastic powers? And I'm assuming you mean not from any of the other four. So basically, if Reed, I think it would have been cool if Reed was a telepath, similar to like Jean and Professor Xavier. Maybe a telepath and a telekinetic. It would be interesting. Because to me, Reed doesn't use elastic powers the proper way. He doesn't use elastic powers the cool way. You know, he does not use his imagination. I mean, it's cool to see him make his fist big and things like that's cool. But when I look at someone who makes elastic powers cool, Plastic Man comes to mind. That man, that's why I love Plastic Man so much. He really goes all in with his elastic powers. Even Ms. Marvel does a better job of that. And then let's not even forget the homie Luffy. My God, he makes elastic powers so cool. That's who really does. But Reed is kind of like, stretch, that's it. No, I wish he would do. He could be so more creative. So why not make him a telepath or a telekinetic? I think that'd be cool. If you could add to Thing's power set, what would it be? If I could add to Thing's power set, man, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, he's got the rock hide. He's super endurable. He's super strong. What could I add to his? Oh, I get it. I know what I could do. What if Thing was had geokinesis, similar to like Geoforce and his sister Terra? Like he could earth bend, like rock bend, and boom, like that'd be yeah. There we go. Yeah, that'd be cool. Imagine Thing having geokinesis, where he can bend rocks and throw them at you like yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, there it is. There you go. Number 4. Did you like Chris Evans as Johnny? Chris Evans was a good Johnny. He really portrayed Johnny properly, because people forget when they got their powers, Johnny was the only one in the beginning that was like, this is so cool. Like he was on that cool factor. He loved it so much before anything else. So yeah, he was a good Johnny, and it was really cool to see him come back as reprise his role as Johnny Storm in Deadpool and Wolverine. That was fun. But Deadpool, you got Johnny killed, bastard, dumbass. And number 4, your fourth question: can the MCU still give us the true Super Skrull Clerk? Yes, they could. They could still give us the true Super Skrull, but I think it's a little too late, because, in all honesty, the MCU kind of fucked up the Skrulls. Honestly, yeah, they did. Sorry, they kind of did. But yeah, I would still love to see Clerk, the real Super Skrull. Yes. Thank you, Zachary, for the questions. Moving on to Son of Light VX asks, do you see Johnny as a legacy character? Yes, he is. Johnny, if we're talking Marvel, see, here's the thing about legacy characters. DC is a little better at doing it, but Marvel does have legacy characters, and people just shit on them for no particular reason outside of just they just so nostalgic about the older characters. You know, people shit on Riri Williams. Oh, we don't need a female Iron Man, but you had one with Rescue. Huh? Why? No, stop. You know, the only legacy character they seem to embrace a lot is Miles Morales, but they don't really embrace. But then you got legacy characters like the White Tiger. Perfect example of a good legacy that went from Hector Ayala to his niece Angela Del Toro, to from Angela to Hector's sister Ava. Perfect legacy, family legacy. Boom. Yes, Miles legacy, but Johnny is definitely the first legacy character for Marvel. Technically, yeah, because there was a Human Torch before Johnny. The old Human Torch by the name of John Hammond. So he was an android, and he was around since the 1930s, he came out around, same time around when Namor first came out. 1937, 1939 was Namor dropped. So yeah, he was around when they were still called Timely Comics. So yes, Johnny is a legacy character, and I love John Hammond. I love the original Human Torch. We did get to see a little glimpse of him in the MCU in the first Captain America movie during the World's Fair. You could see him in a tube. You could see him in a display. He's right there. He's that blonde. You saw him blonde. He was blonde. He had that red suit on. That's John Hammond. But John is a lot stronger than Johnny, and John does a lot of things that Johnny can't do. One of the things, like when John is not just burning you with fire, he's also poisoning you with radiation. That's big difference. Johnny, big difference. So you're getting burnt and radiated at the same time. So yeah. But yeah, Johnny is a legacy character, and I do acknowledge him as a legacy character, and he's one of the greatest Marvel legacy characters, period. Yes. Number 2, who is your least favorite Fantastic Four villain? That's Diablo. I don't really like Diablo like that. He's an alchemist. I believe he's more of an alchemist. But when I look at him, I'm like, well, Doctor Doom could do alchemy too, and he's better than him. Yeah. Why do you think John Krasinski didn't return as Reed? Well, for one, he died. But you're talking about the MCU. I don't know. I thought he was perfect for Reed. He looked like Reed. He looked more like the Reed with the beard that we saw. Like, I forget who run Reed had more of the beard look. But I thought he was great. I thought he was, just in that cameo, but he wasn't too smart as well. Like, why would you say that, Reed? You know, it's just like, Reed, shut your mouth. You know what I'm talking about. You know the scene I'm talking about. Yeah. But I thought he would have returned as the Reed that we got now, but I guess, he just was too busy. Maybe he didn't want to be held down on a major schedule like that. Maybe, I think in hindsight, it was just, okay, I'll do it for a cameo, for people who've been asking me to dreamcast as this character. Okay. But Emma's not going to do, I still feel Emma would have been the perfect Sue, because it would have been so cool to see them work together as husband and wife in real life. You know, I like that. But I think it was just meant to be like he did this for the fans, but that's it. You know. Did you like Jessica Alba as Sue? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I don't hate Jessica Alba. Don't hate her at all. I think she's great. She's talented, but I did not see her as Sue at all. To me, that was definitely sex appeal. That was just for sex appeal. And at that time, Jessica was all over magazines as one of the hottest women in Hollywood or something like that. You know, magazines. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't like that. I felt like the person that she replaced should have been Sue, and that was Ali Leiter. She was gonna be Sue in Tim Story's Sue, but she turned it down because I forgot why she turned it down, and she told her friend Jessica about it. She told Jessica about it and to audition for it, and I was just like, I wish Ali Leiter guest starred. It was still Sue, because I would have accepted that more. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know. It was just something about her performance as Sue that didn't captivate me as Sue. I was just like, this does not feel like Sue Storm to me as much. Sue, and I just didn't. So thank you for those questions, Son of Light. Moving on to Jalen Collins, or Jalen Bullseye Collins. Are you glad Galactus isn't a cloud in the movie? Hell yeah, I'm glad of that. I swear, I promise you on my mother's grave, if they had pulled that cloud shit again, I would have been pissed. Like, Marvel, you're making that stupid mistake that Fox did. Y'all making him a cloud? I hated that when he was I was like, wait, he's a cloud? I'm like, I'm thinking, oh, he's not a cloud. He's just inside the cloud. Like, blah, 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 and you're gonna see him. And you don't. And I'm like, the fuck is this? No. The fact that we got Galactus, and when they showed him walking around the city, and I'm like, oh my God. And the actor that's gonna play him or voice him, perfect. Because his voice is so, yes, thank God. It's like now, for me now, to me now, with the MCU, there is no goddamn excuse for them to not stay true to the source material of these characters now. There is no excuse. You already did the Celestials. There is no excuse for not having Galactus the giant that he is. What the fuck? Like, none of that shit. None of that. No more of that. No more, oh, it's not possible. Oh, we can't do that. No. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. No, we can't do that. No, it's not possible. Like, I don't want to hear it no more. I don't want to hear people say, oh, we can't do Blue Marvel. Why the fuck you can't? They just did the fucking Century, right? Don't give me that shit that they can't do these characters no more. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from anybody saying they can't do these characters plausible like their comic counterpart. Bullshit. Because all I'm going to say is then they're lazy. Oh, because you remember how they used to say, oh, they can't do this character because he's too powerful. From what I hear, and not from what I hear, look at what they did with the Sentry. That fucker was on a fucking different level. Come on, stop. So thank God he's not a cloud, Galactus. God, yes, thank you. And that's Jalen's only question too. Thank you very much. So we move on to another new Patreon, Christian L. Barnes. What's the L stand for? That's your middle name? What's it stand for? Christian says, who had the better Fantastic Four run? Mark Waid or Jonathan Hickman? Oh, fuck. Boy. Okay, that. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna slightly say Jonathan Hickman. By slight, Hickman. I think Hickman had a better because Hickman loves science, and you could tell Hickman loves science because he goes all in on the science aspect, and you can see that even in Hickman's X-Men run. He's great at it. So I will give it to Hickman. Your next question: who's your favorite of Johnny Storm's girlfriends? Oh boy, Johnny's had a few girlfriends. There's Crystal from the Inhumans. There's Frankie Ray, who would later become one of Galactus's heralds, Nova. Not Richard Rider, but that's her name. There's an earlier one called Elsa Evans, I believe. There's his girlfriend / ex-wife, Elijah. Also, she made herself look like Alicia Masters. So when they were going out together, that's when Johnny and Ben had a fight. But it was really, she was in disguise as Alicia. And of course there's of course Johnny tapped back into the royal family with Medusa. That's right, boys and girls. Johnny was dating Medusa. I think Medusa. This was at a time when Medusa and Black Bolt weren't together I think they separated for a while, and and Medusa had Johnny. I don't know if Johnny was just her boy toy, but it was they seemed to get it on, and I'll never forget. It was an Uncanny Avengers, and this was when Black Bolt. He didn't mind them being together, but he did something that I'll always love. He tapped, because Black Bolt can't talk, so because his voice is deadly. He tapped Johnny on the shoulder, and basically he was telling him he was near a candle. And Black Bolt was basically saying, he's like, I don't mind you being with her, but if you hurt her, and he put his hand over fire, wasn't even flinching, and he just went, tss, that's gonna be you. I was like, oh. But my favorite of Johnny's girlfriends, I gotta say, it's probably Elijah. I think they really loved each other, and she did love him, and Johnny did love her, because that's the one he married. He actually married her, and they came back, and when she came back during the we thought she was dead. When she came back during the Secret Invasion, Johnny was like, why are you doing this now? Like, I loved you, and it was almost like they erased her memory of him, and I forget how she got it back, or she remembered it. It was, I did love Elijah. She was definitely one of his girlfriend's wives that I did love. But I loved him and Crystal together as well. Frankie Ray and him didn't stay together very long, and neither did Medusa. So it's between Elijah and Crystal. Next up, as we've seen members of the team be a part of other teams outside of the Fantastic Four. Ben was a part of the New Avengers, that's right. Johnny was a part of the Uncanny Avengers, yes. Sue was a part of the Lady Liberators, yes. And Reed was a part of the Illuminati. My question to you is, do you have a problem with that? And are you fine with them joining other teams? I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, them like characters like that joining other teams. I don't have a problem with that at all. Look at now, we have Storm on the Avengers. She's great. She's earned that before. She should have stayed on it. How many times we've seen Beast? Beast has been the Avengers. Rogue has been a member of an Avengers team and a leader of it too. So yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind them being a part of that at all. So no, I don't. And the last person to ask question is Lawrence Parker Jr. Another new subscriber, new Patreon member. Thank you very much, guys. I am now my Patreon is up to 40 members. I thank you very much. I appreciate all of you who have joined my Patreon. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I'm up to 40 now. I applaud you. Thank you. Let's keep it going. Let's get to 50. Even though he came out years before the Fantastic Four, the Submariner, Namor, seems to be always mostly tied to the Fantastic Four. Do you think we'll see any connection with him and the Four in the MCU? I mean, he's gonna be. Namor is back in Doomsday, so it will be interesting to see. Will he mix it up with Sue or get attracted to her? So yeah, I am interested in seeing that. That's gonna be fun. Were you a fan of the new Fantastic Four? I was a fan of the Hulk, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, new Fantastic Four. I was a fan of them. Yes, I was. I thought it was interesting. I'm like, this just seems really fun and decent at the same time. But yeah, I could dig it. I could dig it. Number 3. Excuse me. Do you think Johnny? This is the same question again. Do you think Johnny will settle down and be married with kids? I answered this question already, Lawrence. Sorry, but like I said, hopefully someday he will settle down again. He will settle down in the 616 universe, the main universe, not an alternate universe. Yes, and how would you do a Fantastic Four video game now? I would probably do it more like they did the latest Guardians of the Galaxy game. How they're all on the field, but you could switch between characters. That's how I would do a Fantastic Four game. Because that Guardians of the Galaxy game was pretty dope. I like that. That was fun. And you can also go the Telltale way of thinking, but yeah, that's the best way to do it. So yeah, it would be more like that latest Guardians of the Galaxy game that they did, where you can switch between characters and you can play with this character. So that's how I would do it. I like that way. That was cool. But yeah, man. And that is it. That is all the questions. I want to thank everybody for coming in and bestowing questions upon me on the Patreon for the Fantastic Four. I cannot wait for the new movie. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Superman. It's still a great time to be a geek, man, and a comic geek, because I have a good feeling that we're gonna get a real good Fantastic Four movie this time around that really balances the comic and just storytelling. And I'm looking forward to it. So what is the month of June's theme? I'm gonna let you guys know. The month of June will be let's see, here we go. Nope, wrong one. Superman. There you go. We will be doing Superman. Superman will be June. July will be Jurassic Park. So those are my themes coming up for the next 2 months. I will be putting up the Superman theme Q&A, and I'll put up the post of that on the Patreon real soon. I think I'll put it up next week, so you guys can start thinking of questions as well. But I had a lot of fun with the Fantastic Four. I love the Fantastic Four. I'm a big fan of them. They are on my list. I believe it's one of my top 5 favorite teams in comic books, I believe. Top 5 or top 10. But I love them. What I love about them more is that they're a family. The family aspect is what I love, and that's what I'm looking for most in that movie, is the family aspect. The powers are one thing, but that family aspect has to be, boom, in your face. Like, yes, this is what they are. And from them trailers, yes, that's what we're gonna. I love that. But outside of that, I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you guys had fun. I will see you guys next time. As always, this is M.V.K saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, you guys take care. Deuces. It's clobbering time!